Hello everyone and welcome to Assetto Corsa. Now this weekend, as I'm sure you'll know if you're a motorsport fan, is the Goodwood Festival of Speed, the annual event which sees the event highlighted now essentially by the Goodwood Hillclimb competition on the Sunday. Now, we recently received the Goodwood Hillclimb circuit, if you will, as a mod for Assetto Corsa, so I thought I would take 14 cars from Assetto Corsa, mods and some standard cars, and do a bit of a hill climb challenge myself. The way this will work is each car will get 3 attempts to go up the hill, and the best run will be the one that you will see on video here. I think it's going to be quite interesting. I've always wanted to do something like this, and this is the first time we've really been able to do it now that we've got Goodwood on Assetto Corsa. So the first run of the 14 that you are seeing right now is with the Mercedes SLS AMG road car. I picked this mainly for selfish reasons because I love this car, and I wanted this to be a benchmark because we know this is a quick car in real life, but I wanted something that we can kind of fathom to be able to show just how quick some of the cars are going to go later in the run. So the SLS 571 brake horsepower gets up the hill with street tyres, mind you, in 58.336 seconds. Severely limited with grip there because of the street tyres. And so yeah, that's the first run of the day. Now the second run, I thought, why not just do a direct comparison and take the race-ready version of the AMG. This is the Black Falcon SLS GT3 car from the Dubai 24 Hours. 520 brake horsepower, so less than the road version, but obviously it makes up for it with all of that aero and all of that race tuning. As we see it pull away from the start-finish line in a cloud of smoke there, that'll be a bit of a common theme here. Through turn 1, nice and tidy, the aero really helping to keep the car planted. Good speed through turn 2, a little bit dip the wheels into the grass there a little bit on the exit, but no harm done there. Blasting past the front of the house and on the run now up the hill toward Moulcombe. Again, a little bit of a wheel in the grass there, but this car is handles well enough that we can kind of get away with that. Now up toward the Flint Wall. This is where the change of direction really comes in handy for any run here. Important to have a car as stable as possible so you don't clatter into the side of that wall. I imagine that would hurt. This corner here is the one that I actually struggled the most with throughout all of the runs, the penultimate corner. I must have ended up in the hay bales there every single time. So the SLS GT3 comes across the line to do a 48.958. Soft tyres, aerodynamics, better tuning, 10 seconds faster than the production road car version of the GT3. So that already just shows how much faster these lap times are going to be. So from one type of motorsport thoroughbred race car to another, this is the Race of Champions prepared Rally X Superlights car based on the body shell of a Ford Fiesta. 600 brake horsepower, 4-wheel drive. This will be the fastest car off of the line. It's simply that's it really. This car weighs about the same as a training shoe, and it's got so much power, and away it goes. Virtually no wheel spin off of the line there. Now, the sparks. I'm not really sure. I'm putting it down to a glitch. Normally I would pick another car. If there was a glitch, a massive sideways moment through turn 2, yeah, normally I'd get rid of this car and replace it with another one because of the glitch, but the sparks look great, don't they? So yeah, we'll keep it. Now, oddly enough, I was expecting this car to handle really, really well. As you can see, I'm fighting with the wheel there, taking several bites of the cherry through Moulcombe on the run up to the Flint Wall. I was expecting this car to handle really well, but actually this was one of the hardest cars to get up the hill of all of them. Into the penultimate corner now, the one that I've been having all the trouble with. Will we have trouble in this one? A little bit of a sideways moment, but we managed to keep it out of the hay bales. Through the final corner now, the top speed of the RX car is a bit of a problem, not as good as the others, so it suffers a little bit there. Top of the hill, it's a 52.442, so slower, 4 seconds slower than the Dubai 24-hour SLS GT3. So that will sit in second place in the standings. So now, from that to something completely different. This is the Team Dynamics prepared Mean Mower, the Honda lawn mower. Yeah, I just kind of had to, really. 109 brake horsepower in this Mean Mower, prepared by Team Dynamics, the British touring car squad. The engine of a Honda VTR Firestorm superbike in this thing, and we're about to see it propel this mower up the hill. Yeah, I just kind of really had to pick this. Massive cloud of smoke as we pull away from the line there. Now, this was probably the hardest run of all 14 cars, constantly fighting this mower from trying to go back to its roots so it can mow the grounds here at the Goodwood Hillclimb. Must say, it would get the job done very quickly. On the run up to Molecombe now, this corner very difficult, constantly trying to fight the wheel here, so many different inputs. It's almost like racing a kart, except it's a mower. Yeah. Up to the flint wall now. Let's see if we can keep this mower out of the barrier. The good thing is because it's so thin, it's quite difficult to hit a wall on the outside just through normal racing lines. But the instability of this mower will make up for that. This was the only vehicle that I managed to roll during practice. Coming right out toward the edge of the circuit, right on the limit of grip as we cross the line. And that's going to be a 53.467. So slower than the rallycross car, but only by a second. That thing is just utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. It's vehicles like that that really make Goodwood. It's bringing together all of these vehicles that would never usually compete and seeing how they go toe to toe. I mean, the best example of that is we've just had a mower and now we've got cutting-edge motorsport technology. This is the Gen 2 Formula E car. And we're going to ride on board for this run, mainly because the off-board audio didn't work. I mean, glitches, technical glitches. Anyway, down into turn 1, the power of this car, it gets off the line so quickly because the power is instant. And then we've got all of the downforce through the corners, so really fast through the first couple of corners here. Down into Molecombe Corner now, a little bit of a lock-up here. That's one thing that I tend to struggle with the Gen 2 Formula E cars, locking up. The brakes really tricky to get a hang of. Up the hill now, toward the flint wall. Nice and easy through there. The aerodynamics really helping us out there. 250 kilowatts of power, this thing. That's the equivalent to 335 brake horsepower, and it's serving us well. We've also got the attack mode boost on. Across the line at the top of the hill, and it's going to be a 45.977. New fastest car up the hill, beating the SLS GT3 by almost 3 seconds. Fantastic, fantastic to get the Formula E car going up the hill. And now for something completely different. This is the Ford Supervan 3. Yes, had to do this. Originally made in the 1990s to kind of promote the Mark V Transit in 1994. It was rebuilt in 2014. Ground effects were added, and as you can hear, probably the most notable change, a V10 Formula 1 engine. 770 brake horsepower unleashed up the hill in a transit van. Listen to it, hark at it as it comes through turn 1. It's actually remarkably stable. I was pleasantly surprised with how well this goes up the hill, blasting past the front of the house. It's just ridiculous. Really planted under braking and through the corners as well. This is probably one of the easiest runs of the day once you get your head around the fact that you're driving a van. Through the flint wall, nice and tidy through there. Little bit of a wiggle on the exit, but doesn't matter. Oh, a little bit close to the outside hay bales there. Through the final corner, completely flat out. And listen to it as it crosses the line. It's just insane. You close your eyes, it's a Formula 1 car. You open them and you're a little bit disappointed. But at the same time, that Supervan 3 is insane. 42.416 seconds. New fastest lap. Or perhaps I should say run. I'm not really used to commentating on hill climb events. Can you tell? So from one utility vehicle that's got way too much power for its own good to another. This is Matt Crafton's number 88 2011 NASCAR Truck Series Chevrolet Silverado. And I'm just going to say this now, that was the hardest car to get off of the line there. Didn't look like we had much wheel spin, but just getting it off the line with the clutch, it was just horrible. And this truck, unlike the other trucks that usually come here from NASCAR to run up the hill, has not been prepared for this in any way. This is totally ill-suited to the task of going up this hill. It's just wobbling all the way up the hill. So, a little bit about this truck. Won one race in 2011 at Iowa Speedway, very different from where we are right now. 700 brake horsepower and 1,497 kilograms. Trying to bring that up the hill. Massive massively difficult, especially with the car handling as badly as it is at the moment. Nevertheless, that brake horsepower powers it up to the hill with a time of 49.801, so it moves into 4th place on our standings, not too far off of the GT3 car. I'm actually quite impressed, because that was ridiculously difficult to get up the hill. So, with half of the cars having run and half the cars still to go, this is a look at the leaderboard. So it's the Ford Supervan 3 leading the way with a 42.416, 3 seconds ahead of the Formula E Gen 2 car. Then you've got the Mercedes-AMG GT3 with a 48.9, and then in 4th place, just a second back from the GT3, the NASCAR Chevy Silverado. Then there's the Rallycross car and the Moa, about a second apart in 5th and 6th, and the Mercedes-AMG road car bookending the field, quite far off the pace. So we move on to the second half of our hill climb competition, and we're kicking off the second half with another V8 powered monster. This is the 2018 number 97 888 Racing Holden Commodore ZB from the Virgin Australia Supercross Championship, driven by Shane van Gisbergen in the championship to 2nd place. A little bit of wheel spin off of the line as we come down into turn 1, spinning a bit of flame from the exhaust there. Now I must say, this car didn't handle as well as I thought it might. I thought we'd have a little bit more cornering grip thanks to the downforce, but not really. 653 brake horsepower, powering us up to Moulton Corner nicely. Braking nice and easy into Moulton Corner, nice and tidy on the exit too. Up past the Flint Wall. Oh, this thing sounds amazing. Nice change of direction through the past the Flint Wall into the penultimate corner. A little bit stepping out of the rear there through the exit of the corner, but nice and tidy nevertheless. Yeah, just not as good through the corners as I thought it was going to be. It's going to be a 48.87, so only 1 second faster than the NASCAR Truck Series car that you would kind of expect to not handle very well. I think with tuning, this car could go a lot faster, but I haven't tuned any of the other cars on this list. Not going to make any exceptions for the Holden, and I wouldn't change a single thing about this next car. We couldn't really not do this car. This is Niki Lauda's 1975 Ferrari 312T, the car that won him his first Formula 1 World Championship. Had to include a historic car like this. Back end kicking out a little bit on the exit of turn 2. H-pattern gearbox. This is one of only 2 cars, and I think it was 3 or 4 cars in the field that had H-pattern gearboxes. And again, it's just nice to see the variety of different cars that can compete in this hill climb competition. This car, I had a feeling it was probably going to try and murder me at some point halfway up the hill. Such is the ferocity of these cars, but actually, oh, I spoke too soon. Massive moment there at the top of the hill. I did touch the hay bale there, but luckily we were just about able to get away with it. That Ferrari engine sounding beautiful as we cross the line to finish our run. It's a 50.815. So it's not really going to be challenging toward the front of our field. It was, I mean, sacrilege. It was only 3 seconds faster than the Moa, but that just shows how far motorsports have come since Niki Lauda's era, and it's important that we remember Niki Lauda after a sad passing a couple of weeks ago. Brilliant to take that car up the hill. And now another car that I'm really happy to take up the hill. This is a bit of a fan favourite, this one. This is the 1990 Mazda 787B, the winner of the 1991 Le Mans 24 Hours, in the hands of Johnny Herbert, Bertrand Gachot and Volker Weidler. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that name. Down into turn 1, nice and stable through there. Listen to that engine. Iconic engine sound from the Mazda. I'm not going to tell you what kind of engine it is because I'll start giggling because I'm childish. Up toward Moulton Corner. Braking a bit early. I didn't really have too much confidence in this car, I must say. Up the hill, just listen to it though. Any confidence that I lacked made up for it in just sheer childish grinning. So close to the hay bales on the exit of the Flint Wall there. Just not as much grip as I was expecting from this car, I must be honest. Through the final corner, keeping it flat out. Listen to the car as we cross the line. Beautiful. But, as I alluded to, not as fast as I thought it was going to be. It's a 44.886, but it's slower than the Supervan. So it moves into second place on our standings, I should say, just behind the Supervan, 2 seconds off the Supervan. Now, we're approaching the heavy hitters now as we approach the tail end of this competition. This is the 2019 FIA F3 car. This is the one driven by David Beckman for ART. DRS, a Mechachrome V6 engine producing 380 brake horsepower. This is going to be a serious contender for the top of our standings as of right now. Look at the aerodynamic grip, the speed we can take through the first couple of high-speed corners. DRS open on the run to Moulcombe, and then the brakes, just as impressive as anything else about this car. Stops on a dime. Nice and gentle through the corners on the exit of Moulcombe, and now through the Flint Wall. Look at the change of direction. Barely even flinches as we pass the Flint Wall. A little bit of a moment on the exit of that penultimate corner. I really seem to be struggling there. I don't know if it's something I'm doing wrong. DRS open again as we come to the finish line, and it's a 40.255, 2 seconds quicker than the Supervan. So that is our new fastest run of the day. And as we're approaching the tail end of this, as I said, we've only got 3 cars left to run now. It'll be interesting to see the gaps between the last few cars, especially this one. This is a single-seater from the other side of the Atlantic. This is a current generation Indy car, decked out in the livery of Fernando Alonso's ill-fated McLaren entry from this year's Indianapolis 500. Let's face it, it can't do any worse here than it did there. It's the right shade of papaya, so we should be good to go here. A lot of wheel spin as we saw off the line there, nice and easy through turn 1 and turn 2. Now listen to that twin-turbo V6 engine propelling it up the hill. Now, the difference here between this and the F3 cars, whilst this has got a lot better top speed and acceleration, just pure grunt, the F3's got much better aerodynamics. It can carry a lot more of that speed through the corners, so this could be quite close. Nevertheless, it was quite nice and tidy through the Flint Wall and up through the penultimate corner. Flat out toward the line now. We've got push to pass working for us as well. It's going to be a 40.266, so only 1/100th between this and the RSS3, the Formula 3 car. But importantly, that 100th of a second is in the Formula 3 car's favour. So here is the leaderboard with just 2 cars remaining in this competition, and it's the Formula 3 car leading the way by 100th of a second over the IndyCar IR18. Nothing has yet broken the 40-second barrier, but spoiler alert, I think we're about to see that quite comfortably. Third place still is the Ford Supervan 3, arguably the star of the day so far, 42.416, 2 seconds ahead of the Mazda 787B as we saw. The Formula E Gen 2 currently sitting in 5th place with 45.9, just ahead of the Holden V8 supercar and the Mercedes SLS AMG GT3 on a 48.9. Very close between those two, only a 1/10 of a second between the V8 supercar and the GT3. 8th place currently the Chevy Silverado of 49.8, and then you've got the cars that have not broken the 50-second barrier. The Ferrari 312T, 2 seconds ahead of the Race of Champions Rallycross car. Then there's another second back to the Honda Moa in 11th place, and still the Mercedes SLS AMG road car bookending the field. I think it's going to stay there. Fairly safe to say it's going to stay there with a 58.3. Such is the advantage of the race-prepared vehicles taking part today. So here we are for the final 2 runs, and the penultimate car to go up the hill is this Michael Schumacher's F2004 Ferrari Formula 1 car. Oh, just listen to it. One of the most dominant cars in Formula 1 history. 13 wins out of 18 for Michael Schumacher that year, with 2 more coming from his teammate Rubens Barrichello. Can that success transfer over to the Hillclimb? Yeah, I reckon it will. Away we go for the penultimate run of the day. A little bit of wheel spin before the traction control kicks in. Up into turn 1. Nice and easy through there. Taking a little bit of a downshift through the second corner, but now back on the power soon after for the run up toward Moulcombe. Nice and steady under braking and through the corner as we come up toward the Flint Wall. Look at the change of direction we're about to see from the F2004. Oh, it doesn't even flinch. Amazing. Penultimate corner. A little bit of a wiggle on the exit. That's kind of what everything's done. Now listen to it as it crosses the line. Oh, it's just insane. And what do you know, it's the fastest, 38.243. It goes to the top of the standings 2 seconds quicker than the Formula 3. Let's go on board for that lap. Like I said, a little bit of wheel spin before the traction control kicked in, but otherwise nice and gentle through the opening stages. Tyres still cold. Downshifting through turn 2, but as I said, back on the power. So fast this thing on the brakes. Really nice on the brakes, to be fair. No hint of a lock-up or anything. Using all of the road on the exit. And just look at the change of direction through here. So fast. I like a little bit of a moment, as I said, on the exit of the penultimate corner. Just a little bit of a wiggle, but so calm. This car, just unbelievable speed, this thing. It goes to show why it's only taken until very recently for Formula 1 cars to get as fast as this. The V10 era of Formula 1 was just astonishing, and obviously it was dominated really in the mid-2000s by Ferrari and Michael Schumacher, and that kind of transfers into this run. 2 seconds quicker than the Formula 3 car. A little bit of a donut to show off to the fans at the top of the course. So it's the F2004 that will lead the way heading into the final run of the day. And we just spoke about how it's only taken until recently for Formula 1 cars to get as fast as the F2004. This is one of them. This is the 2019 RSS Formula Hybrid, modelled on current Formula 1. This is Lewis Hamilton's number 44 Mercedes. We're going to have DRS, we're going to have hybrid, we're going to have everything thrown at this lap. What can modern F1 do at the Goodwood Hillclimb? Away we go, a little bit of wheel spin, but now we're already in turn 1, such as the acceleration and the aerodynamics of this car. So fast through the second corner. DRS open on the run up to Moulcombe. Braking so late, you can brake so late in these cars, a little bit of a lock-up, but that doesn't hinder us through Moulcombe corner, and now up toward the Flint wall. My word, that's fast. Penultimate corner, oh, a little bit back end, steps out through the penultimate corner once again. DRS already open through the final corner, run to the line, and it's it's a 34.384. The Mercedes Formula 1 car wins the hill climb competition. Let's ride on board and see how it happened. Building up the revs as we accelerate away from the line. And I think the real advantage for this came with its aerodynamics in the first couple of corners. We've seen other cars having to be a bit tentative because the tyres were cold, but this one, the DRS just, the downforce rather, just stuck it to the floor through the first couple of corners, and then it just kept on pulling away up the rest of the course. Just listen to it through the Flint wall. Barely even a lift. So fast, and even then, the little moment we had on the penultimate corner, easily able to catch it, powering up the hill with the use of the hybrid deployment. And as I said, a 34.384 seconds, 4 seconds almost faster than the F2004. What an incredible run to end this hill climb competition. The Mercedes 2019 car, winner of 6 of the opening 8 races with Lewis Hamilton, and 2 of the others having come with Valtteri Bottas. Some more donuts here at the top of the hill for the winner of the hill climb, the 2019 Mercedes Formula 1 car, with a 34.384. So here's a look at the full leaderboard at the end of this run. As we just saw, it's the 2019 Formula 1 car that is victorious in this hill climb competition. 34.384 compared to the Ferrari F2004 with a 38.243. 4 seconds between those cars. The Formula 3 takes 3rd place ahead of the IndyCar, just 100th of a second between the two, and the Supervan stays in the top 5 by the end of the day. Only 8 seconds slower than the modern Formula 1 car. That's astonishing for a transit van. The Mazda 787B, 6th place with a 44.886 ahead of the Formula E Gen 2 car. The Holden V8 Supercar, 8th ahead of the Mercedes SLS AMG GT3 in 9th, with the NASCAR Chevy Silverado rounding out the top 10, and the last car to lap under 50 seconds. Then we have the honourable mentions, the Ferrari 312T with a 50.815. Solid run, that one, given the car's age. Really, really nice to see that car, formerly driven by Niki Lauda, going up the hill. Then you got the Rallycross car with a 52.4, 2 seconds off of the Ferrari. Then the Moa with a 53.4, and then at the bottom of the timesheets, the first car that we ran today, that Mercedes SLS AMG road car. So there you have it. I really enjoyed making this video. It's been really fun to take all of these cars up the Goodwood Hillclimb. As you can see, a couple of donuts for the Hillclimb winning car in front of Goodwood House. Like I said, it's been really fun. It's great to see Goodwood Hillclimb now in Assetto Corsa. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these in the future. If you would like to see some more runs, let me know in the comments below. There's a lot more cars that I can take up the hill and add to that timesheet. We've got the Red Bull X2010, for example. How fast can that go up the hill compared to this car here? But for now, like I said, give the video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. And until next time, I've been Jordan Groves. This has been the Goodwood Hillclimb. And until next time, take care. Goodbye.